Hello ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am being a dumbass. Welcome to WoW Classic Hardcore. And yes, I am being a dumbass. I saw the release of WoW Classic Hardcore a couple of years ago and a small, overly confident voice appeared in my head. Let me all give you some context. So one, you don't feel that I'm insane, and two, so I can tell you why there was an overly confident voice in my head and what it was saying. You see, I played WoW Classic when it first came out. And I'm not talking when they released the Classic mod through the launcher. No, I mean Classic Original WoW, released back in 2004. I started playing it in 2005 after school with some mates. After playing Warcraft 3 and RuneScape in late primary school, World of Warcraft felt like the more grown-up game. So as a young man, I jumped on and I played it. However, to clarify, I didn't really get into becoming a big raider or actually getting anywhere close to max level until the end of Burning Crusade towards the beginning of Wrath of the Lich King, which wasn't released yet. So little me in 2008 joined a guild and thought, yeah, this was fun. I became part of one of the largest guilds on the Oceanic servers and eventually joined a very small, well-known guild on the American server. The guild was still made up of Aussies, but American servers back then were more populated, meaning that you had more chance of getting what you wanted off the auction house. Back to that overly confident voice. That overly confident voice saw Classic Hardcore release and went, that's easy. Now I haven't played it till now because, well, life. But that thought never lingered far in my mind. Level 60 would be easy, right? I had a level 70 character in little under a week back in the day and had multiple of them. So hardcore level 60 should be a piece of cake. Oh, how was I wrong? First question, what is hardcore WoW? Simply put, you only have one life per character. If you're killed for whatever reason, you must start again, from scratch. To make it a bit harder, I have installed some hardcore add-ons and some old favorite add-ons. The add-ons I have added stop me from being able to trade with other players, access the mailbox, and the auction house. This severely limits how much gold I can generate in the beginning for gear, as well as any gold I generate on a mass scale late game for transmorgs and gear then. I'm also placing some personal caveats on this playthrough. I was a warlock back in the day, so I have to be one now, with every character, no matter how many. This severely limits my character options within the launcher. This is also fine because I am limiting myself to Horde, as that's what I was back then. I think you can see where this is going. Start my first character will be Forsaken. Oh, and final kind of rule, you'll always be called We Try Not Die. So, now you understand why I'm playing this and what this is. Hope you enjoy the Ballad of Wetrynotdie. So a weird fact, in the later version of this game, the wretched zombies that you have to kill are actually hostile, whereas in this version nothing is incredibly hostile to you until you get past level 4. There are obviously hostile enemies all over the place, but nothing is incredibly hostile towards you until after level 4. Yeah, this area I spent a lot of time in as a kid. I was a Forsaken, like pretty much from day one. My first character and my main character, as people call it, like the character that you played the most and raided with, and got to level 60, was a Forsaken Warlock, which is why we're also doing Warlock for this one, which I probably also explained, most likely. Yeah. But this area is quite weird because, like, this area kind of gets forgotten in the later installments, this place in Silverpine Forest, because where the Night Elves start is over here, near the Great Sea, right? So and this area here gets filled in later. This is the new Night Elf area because you end up taking it around to Azeroth, and then these guys come this way. But the weird thing is you start in the Eastern Kingdoms rather than Kalimdor, which is like where Kalimdor is where Orgrimmar, the main city, is. There it is there. See? So, you're, like, as a Forsaken, you actually start in the wrong area. Which is another thing that I never, like, really understood, and people were dissuaded from playing the Forsaken because of it. As you see, I do have a bunch of add-ins. This add-in is particularly cool for Classic because it's part of the Questy mod, but it's actually called the RPG Helper mod. So it places the little symbols next to the name badges of the enemies that you're fighting, as well as on the map, so you can sort of see where you're going, and it's got. I know that a lot of people are going to be like, "That's not how it was in Classic." You're right, it wasn't. And I should probably play it, but I had add-ons installed even back then. Mainly stuff like animated party bars and stuff like that. But that being said, most of us, and for the sake of ease for the video, I am going to have these mods on that allow me to make it easier for me to traverse around. It'll also make it easier for me to decide what areas and what places to avoid and what places to go into quest-wise. Like, yeah, I kind of know that information off the top of my head, but also not really. Like, it's been a long time. Oh, I should do Demon Skin when I'm thinking about it. Demon Skin, increase our armor so we don't take as much damage from these zombies. Be good when we get curses a bit later on. We just stop them from doing any damage at all. That'd be good. But right now they're doing quite a fair amount of damage. Shit. And our mana is fucking terrible. Be good when we level up a bit. We need to get an increased amount of mana. We got wretched zombies. They are these guys, right? No, that's a mindless one. These guys, yeah. I remember when this first came out, all those years ago. I remember my friend and I were both worried that we didn't have a computer to play it, because we were playing RuneScape and stuff on the school computer, but at home I still had like a CRT monitor and stuff. Like, I was still old school. My parents didn't really upgrade their computer or anything. Oh, another player, hello. For ages, and then this came out, and my dad, my mum got like a brand new home computer, and I remember downloading this, and my dad, right, was really annoyed with me because I spent my allowance that week on 30 days of WoW, which I think was like, at the time was like 15-16 bucks, which was a lot of money. My dad was like, does that buy the game? I'm like, no, it just gives me 30 days to play. I can play the game for 30 days. And he was floored that I only had 30 days to play it. And like, my dad now, just talking to him about video games now, about how much they cost, is yeah, it's ridiculous. I know, it's ridiculous. But having played Warcraft and all of that, we were like, oh, this game's awesome. Like, look at this. It's the world that we love brought to life, you know? And so we played the shit out of it. Every night after school, and then I got my first job, and then every night when I got home, my friends would all be on, and I would get on. Mount collecting. God, the mount. God, collecting mounts. Can I turn off? I ain't gotta turn off error speech. It's annoying. Let's summon our first pet. So, for those of you who haven't played WoW, or don't intend to continue, don't intend to play it, or don't know anything about it, the Warlock class, your main abilities are damage over time spells. So you start off with Shadow Bolt, which does basic damage spell. Then you get, this is your first one if you choose Destruction Warlock, which is probably what I'm going to go with. I do enjoy a Demonology Warlock, but I don't remember if it's good in Classic. Let's have a look. This was peak graphics back in the way too. Back in the day. Like these trees and everything, like the moving grass you can see. Peak graphics. To the point where I'm pretty sure my computer couldn't run it.
I am finished with you, adventurer. You have shown yourself.
There you go.
What is it?
It's wise
I don't think I can buy anything from you.
Adventurer in your desire for more warlock knowledge.
Level 4. So I need I need a bit more XP before I can get a affliction. Our first first DOT spell. Armor is 101 plus 40. Power, range attack, damage 2 to 5. Power 10 million. So intellect. We need to increase our intellect and our spirit. That's what we're looking to increase. Yeah, I know where he is. Gotta go take out old Sammy boy. A Sammy boy? That is Sammy boy. Alright. Fetch, Gazlock. Alright, Sammy boy, it's time for you to go down into the ground. The problem is like, if you want to know story-wise, why there are zombies that are mindless and why there are zombies like us that aren't, is Sylvanas woke up all of the dead in the area, and some of us, mainly those who were killed in Lordaeron, appeared to be different. We were resurrected differently. She showed, at least in this. At this point in the story, I should point out, we seem to show aptitude as to being different, and being good soldiers for her army because we awoke with our minds still intact, which is bullshit, by the way. She orchestrated it that way, but that's what it says. All right.
It's wise that you humble yourself before me, adventurer, in your desire for more warlock knowledge.
Oh, I can get Curse of Weakness if I just had 2 silver. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's see if we've got shit we can sell. We do. Let's put the belt on and the cuffies on. Increase our armor. Coming here.
What is it?
Take my shit. What's that get out to? Oh, just under 2 silver. Damn. Alright. We'll have to go for corruption. We'll go do the spiders.
Yourself before me, adventurer, in your desire for more warlock knowledge.
Oh, it's only 72.
Patience, discipline.
So, real quick, why we try not die is fighting spiders. We've now made it to level 4. We now have our first and second damage over time spell. Damage over time spells, as I sort of explained before, are the main weapons that warlocks wield in this game. Damage over time spells like corruption and immolation are important, and the way in which you cast them is important, which also involves your pet. Warlocks rely on these spells to weaken the enemy so that their pet plus Shadow Bolt, which is your only real offensive spell at this point in the game, to take out the enemy. In this fact, even though we're versing level 3 enemies, they can kill us pretty quickly. So we have to be pretty vigilant, and we're only versing the little guys outside. In a moment we go inside into the mine where our first raid enemies or first aggressive enemies are. The nightweb spiders are the first aggressive enemy you encounter as a Forsaken. The frequency and time in which you find aggressive enemies in WoW varies depending on starting area. In this case, this makes our first aggressive enemy. As you can see, we are now at the gold mine, and there is the nightweb spiders. As you can see, their health is red in comparison to the yellow that we've been encountering so far, meaning these are aggressive mobs. They also have poison, and as you can see, we've also gone back to town and leveled ourselves up. We've leveled up Gazloz's Fireball to rank 2, and we've also collected ourselves Curse of Weakness. Curse of Weakness is an important early level Warlock spell, that actually decreases the amount of damage that an enemy can do to you. That includes poison. So this Curse of Weakness is going to be with us for a long time until we get Curse of Agony. So aggressive enemies in hardcore, I will discover the hard way eventually, fucking suck. Aggressive enemies are quite literally aggressive. In the standard game, if I was playing this like I was playing any other time, these aggressive enemies wouldn't phase me. I wouldn't be tittering around trying to get 8 of them. I would have just run in, probably got poisoned a couple times by now, and run back out by now. But you see, the thing is I can't afford to lose any health. Any small amount of health I lose is a risk that I will be poisoned or something will happen and I will just die. Warlocks in the beginning and overall do not have a lot of health. Whereas most other starting classes and races would start with more than 100 health, as a Warlock you start with under 100 health and actually gain that through your spells. And you can see in the video right now that I'm actually being quite silly, as I don't have my demon skin on, and I also don't have my pet on aggressive. I have them on defensive, which means they're waiting for me to get attacked before they attack. So to get around this, I do have a keybind so that my pet attacks first, but them being on defensive in this mode still means that they will wait until you get attacked once that enemy doesn't have aggro on them anymore. I learned this a bit later on and decided to change it so that my pet is always constantly the one that's trying to get aggro, meaning that the enemy is no longer trying to attack me, and therefore I live longer. And that's why the DOT spells are good. Getting caught in a bind like that, you know you're not going to be able to get out of it. Just do that. Alright, let's just make sure you get some mana back. There was, you could see on that guy, there was the other reason that we also do the loop, where we cast Corruption, Immolate, Curse, Shadow Bolt, Corruption, Immolate, where we keep doing it in a rotation, because sometimes they resist the Corruption, but rather than trying to get the Corruption to hit, which could take forever, you rotate to the next spell, right? Right? Because that does more damage. You don't want to be caught up And this is it. I know for a lot of WoW veterans out there, watching this might feel a bit slow, but the thing that I remembered in editing this video, future Julian here, is that this is a hardcore playthrough. Even making it to level 5 as we are now, and moving our way from Darkneil, which is the starting area for the Forsaken, to Brill, where we're on our way to now, is a massive freaking undertaking. We made it to level 5. That's great. Oh, and apparently in the process of getting to Brill, my add-ons needed to reload, but that's fine. Either way, enjoy the time-lapse of me running to Brill, which makes our first milestone for We Try Not Die a big one. We made it to level 5. Halfway to the goal of level 10. Level 10 is our first milestone for We Try Not Die. If we can make it to level 10, we will be set for starting to do dungeons, which will hopefully give us a bit of gear. If we get some good gear, we'll be fine in the rest of the world. But it's that getting to level 10 to do dungeons that's the hard part. Okay, welcome to Brill.
Looking for. Scourge have trickled in.
So Brill is the first, city you come across. We say that because it's the first time you get to link your Hearthstone. It also has the largest amount of quests.
What is it?
The last thing we have to do in Brill that you couldn't do in Deathkneel is the other component that is important for our survival as a hardcore character, and that is our professions. Now, as a warlock, I would normally pick tailoring and enchanting. Or in later WoW, I would pick tailoring and herbalism for money. So normally what you would do as a warlock is pick tailoring and enchanting. You would create garments with the tailoring from the materials you got, and then enchant them and then disenchant them, which would increase your level in both, and then you would be able to create better armor for yourself. However, being a hardcore playthrough, I thought it was more advantageous to choose potion crafting and herbalism. You collect the herbs just by walking around and craft health potions, defense potions, regeneration potions, and any other kind of potion that you need to keep us alive along the journey. Now, this is particularly going to be very useful for us as a hardcore player at this stage, not being able to buy any good armor or make any good armor. It's going to be particularly useful for when we can make small mana potions, as replenishing our mana during battle is going to be more important than anything else. Come on. There we go. Alright. So, we're back at it. In a World of Warcraft hardcore. So we got quite a few. We got one low-level quest, but that involves having to take on a few of these other ones at the same time. So what we're actually going to do is Gordo's. Now we've got. Also, now we have alchemy installed, and we have herbalism. We're going to go and find some herbs, as well as collect the gloom, right? And we have to collect blood from these fuckers. So now we have more access to a few spells. The order of things is basically that we're going to corrupt the enemy, which damages them every 3 seconds. Then we can immolate the enemy, which does fire damage, and then just do straight damage to them, which should kill them, right? And then that does minimal damage to us. We do have one issue with being a undead warlock, and I know that I put this rule on myself. I could go be a stronger warlock as a different race, but we do have the problem of our health. Our health's not looking too bad right now, but it will look better once we do this. That's a little bit better, and we can make defense potions. We had a defense scroll, but we haven't. Obviously, that was the last time we played. Yeah, our defense is you have very low defense as a Forsaken. That's why the Forsaken aren't generally known to be warriors. It requires a lot of finagling to make sure that you have the required defense and not strength, sorry, defense to stop yourself from getting one hit, basically. Yeah. Oh, there's a herb. You can see a couple on the map. You can see one there. It's Peace Bloom. Let's get this. What? Like, I know that it uses AI generated voices, like, just read out the text, but, like, I don't know, it gives a bit of spice. Like, you know, I never read any of these quests otherwise, because most of the time I'm just like, oh yeah, it's a quest, fuck it. You know? But with this mod, it's like, oh, well, I didn't know that's what that guy, like, that's what the quest is actually for, like, why we're actually doing that. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's just the truth. But when I was younger, oh fuck, no, that's a, I think that's a boss. Hang on, let me just check. Oh, there's a boss. Yep, run. Is he still coming? No, he's not. Is he? Okay. That might be my cue to get one more putrid claw. Oh, I need to take them on anyway. No, I'll still do it. I was gonna say that might be my clue to go into town, but I think I'll try and finish these 2 quests before I do. Just be a bit more on the ball. Yeah, rough, but like we've been friends for so long that those kind of interactions just kind of they stop mattering after a while. Oh, what? Oh, that sucks. Oh, there's another one. Come on. Need one more. Oh, there's quite a few out this way. Alright. So I'm low on fucking mana again, really badly. Oh, this one is coming this way. And so, this draws us to the end of part 1. We've made it to level 7 so far, so not quite our goal of making it to level 10 by the end of the video, but close. We're planning out our next moves, as this is where things get difficult. Level 7 is in this area and most other areas where it goes from holding your hand to, yeah, you should know what you're doing now and the enemies are going to murder you. So there are 3 ways to go. All of them involve level 6, level 7 and level 8 enemies. We could go and take on the gnolls up north and go out to the sea to take on the murlocs, both level 8 and level 9. Or we could go back to the Tristerfield Farms, which is a very common and well-known quest to go and collect pumpkins and take out more red scarlet people. Again, level 8 and level 9 with their boss being level 10, which we have to come back for. Same with the gnolls, the level 10 boss. Either way, we're doing basically the same quest. It's which one we are more effective against. The second one being human, we will have a larger chance of winning against them. So next time we will be going to the Tristerfield Farms to take on the humans and working our way through the quests in this area. Thank you for watching the Ballad of Wetrynotdie Part 1. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you stick around to see how far I get in World of Warcraft Hardcore. Let's see how much my cocky ass can do this. So far we've made it to level 7. Can we make it past level 10? Can we make it to level 60? Tune in next time to find out.